Rimuru, the Eighth Deadly Sin. Wolf Sin of Deception by WGS564. The Eight Deadly Sins. At a tavern on top of a hill overlooking the town of Cain, what appeared to be a young boy served ale to his customers. Meliodas. Thanks for waiting, drink up. He was serving customers as the tavern was crowded. Meliodas. Hey, how's that meat pie coming? Rimuru. Quit rushing me, will ya, it's done now. Rimuru put down the pie on the table. Rimuru. Thanks for waiting, hope you enjoy. Man, these two kids are hard-working waiters. Meliodas. Oh, we're not waiters. Rimuru. We own this tavern. Man. Huh, they're the owners. Young kids like that. Drunk man. Yeah, right, hey, why don't you join us over here, little lady? Rimuru. Here we go again. Meliodas. You know, we would probably have an even better turnout if you wore the tavern uniform. Rimuru. Do you want me to kill you? It's difficult enough dealing with drunk idiots. The man started making a ruckus and spilled his table's food. Drunk man. Huh, what did you say? Man. Hold it, these guys are packing swords. Rimuru put a hand on the katana at his waist. Rimuru. It's a hassle to use this, so best to save both our time and not make me. Meliodas. Well, you guys, looks like we've got a problem. Now let's fix it. Rimuru. Good idea. Meliodas snapped his fingers. Hawk. Come on, you called it a mess. Really, what do you need me for? Man. That pig, he's talking to us guys. Hawk. That's right, I'm a talking pig, man, what a bunch of hillbillies. Meliodas. Hawk, we gotta get this floor cleaned. Hawk. What a pain in the ham. Hawk began eating up the scraps on the floor. Hawk. Scraps disposal is a tough business. The floor was sparkling clean. Hawk. Next time, there better be some decent size scraps around here, alright. Meliodas. You know, I've got a family recipe for whole roasted hog if you guys are interested. Hawk. I am so full, those are the best scraps I've ever had. Rimuru. Let's do everyone a mercy and spare them from your cooking. Soon gossip of the Eight Deadly Sins began to be the topic of conversation about how they butchered countless holy knights. How they're dangerous enough to have their wanted posters yearly updated, how their captain is arguably the most dangerous for taking out countries, and how some would argue their vice captain was more dangerous due to how cunning he could be. His plans never failed and his power was said to be on par with air captains, and it's on the record that he'd never lost a fight in his life. They tired to brush it off until they heard sounds of rust. The door opened, revealing someone in armor. The customers were terrified and fled the tavern. Meliodas and Rimuru confronted the knight. Meliodas. Now, who are you? Instead of responding, the knight fell over and collapsed. Its helmet came off. Hawk. This kid's one of the Eight Deadly Sins. Rimuru and Meliodas had serious looks on their faces for a moment before putting her in one of the Boar Hat Tavern's beds. Hawk. She's a girl, definitely. Rimuru. Really, I hadn't noticed. Meliodas. Let's make sure. Hawk. Huh. Meliodas. That sweet, gentle face, those buxom curves, this perfume. Meliodas. Hand found its way atop her breast. Meliodas. This firm springiness, yep, she's a girl. Hawk. You already knew that. She began to wake up, but Meliodas didn't cease his action. Elizabeth. Pardon me. Meliodas. Your heartbeat is just fine. Elizabeth. Oh, well, thank you very much for that. Where am I? Excuse me, but what am I doing here? A loud bang could be heard, which surprised the young girl. She turned to find Meliodas face first on the floor with a swell on the back of his head. Rimuru. Don't mind this idiot, feel free to slap, punch, or kick him if he ever makes you feel uncomfortable. Also, to answer your question, you're at the Boar Hat Tavern, which we own, and you passed out almost as soon as you walked in with that suit of armor on. Elizabeth. Hold on, you're both the owners. Meliodas began to get up. Meliodas. Is that so weird? Elizabeth. Well, I mean, I just saw the swords you both carry, so I naturally assumed. Meliodas. Oh, this thing. Meliodas quickly unsheathed his sword, startling the girl. Meliodas chuckled. Meliodas. Did I scare ya? If all you see is the handle, guess it looks pretty intimidating, doesn't it? Rimuru. In terms of keeping our customers in line, it gets the job done without fighting. Mine may be real, but don't worry, I have no intention of pointing it at you. I hardly ever use it these days anyways. Hawk. It's the customers that have to deal with your bad attitude that I really feel sorry for. Rimuru. Don't make me direct it at you, Hawk. Elizabeth seemed completely enamored with Hawk, finding him cute. Meliodas. Hey, you feeling hungry at all? I can throw something together. Rimuru. That's no way to treat a guest. True to his word, Meliodas cooked her a meal. Meliodas. Come and get it. Rimuru. I would advise against that. Elizabeth. First, you nurse me back to health, and now you're feeding me. Rimuru. We're nice like that. Elizabeth. How can I possibly thank you enough? Rimuru. I wouldn't thank us yet. Hawk. Yeah, might wanna taste that before saying thanks. Elizabeth. Alright, this looks so good. Rimuru. Looks can be deceiving. Elizabeth took a bite, her face reflexively scrunched up. Meliodas. What do you think? Awful, isn't it? Rimuru. Don't ask that like it's an accomplishment. Elizabeth. Yes. Meliodas, Rimuru, Hawk. Knew it was. Elizabeth. But still, it's delicious, more than I can say. She said with a smile on her face and a tear in her eye. Rimuru. Poor girl, the horrible taste made her delusional. Meliodas. So what exactly were you doing walking around in a suit of armor? Elizabeth. Well, I'm on a personal quest to find the 8 deadly sins. Hawk. Why would you do that? No one has any idea whether those guys are still alive or not, and they're serious villains. A bang on their front door could be heard. Alione. Open up. The villagers told us who's in there. We are the Order of the Beard of the Mountain Cat. As he was talking, Rimuru seemed exasperated as he sighed and got up from his seat. Rimuru. Stay hidden and stay quiet, we'll handle this. Meliodas opened the door to greet the knights. Meliodas. Yeah, what's up? Rimuru. Did you guys need something? Alione. WHO or you kids? Meliodas. We're the owners. Rimuru. Got a problem with that. Alione. The wandering rust knights here, send him out. Rimuru. Well, if that's all, you could have just said so. Meliodas. Better come out. Hawk. Who is calling for me? I am Sir Hawk the Rusty Knight. Meliodas. If this big is what you're after, you can grill him if you want. Hawk. Give it a rest, will ya? Rimuru. Don't be stupid, we're not giving Hawk to them. Hawk. Rimuru. Rimuru. Not until you pay an appropriate price, of course. Hawk. You're even worse than him. Alione. You little punks, you've got some nerve making fun of knights like this. Elizabeth ran out the back of the tavern. The knights went after her. Rimuru. That girl just can't stay out of trouble. The knights chased Elizabeth, but were soon followed by Hawk, who knocked them down and pushed Alione off the cliff. Hawk. Nothing personal, Mr. Wanab, but I just earned twice as much food tonight. Elizabeth. I don't know how I can thank you for saving me, not just once but 2 times. Meliodas had gotten Elizabeth out of harm's way by Princess carrying her, though he did not miss the opportunity to grope her once again. Hawk. I'm telling ya, lady, feel free to haul off and punch him. A pebble was thrown at Meliodas' head by Rimuru, causing him to lose his balance, and for Elizabeth to fall on top of him. Rimuru. I agree, and once again remind you of how free you are to slap and kick him as well. Rimuru said as he dragged the ambitious knight by his collar to safety. Meliodas. So why are you looking for the 8 deadly sins anyway? Elizabeth. I wanna ask them to help me stop the holy knights. Hawk. Are you serious? Why in the world would you wanna do that? The holy knights are the king's men, the ones who protect Leones, real heroes. Elizabeth explained how the holy knights had arrested the royal family, drafting people and taking men wherever they could find them to prepare for war. Hawk. That's not good. Rimuru. How troublesome. Meliodas. Yeah, tough break, huh? Hawk. Wow, you guys don't have any empathy at all, do ya? Meliodas. So, how does this tie in with the 8 deadly sins again? Elizabeth. If there's even the slightest hope of preventing the holy knights from doing this, I know they're the only ones who can. Rimuru. What makes you so sure they'd help you even if you did find them? Meliodas. You know what kind of people they are, and you still wanna find them. Elizabeth. The 8 deadly sins, the most vile order of knights the kingdom ever produced, made up of 8 bloodthirsty criminals, each one branded with the mark of a beast. 10 years ago, when the knights suspected them of trying to overthrow the kingdom, the knights of the realm launched a full-force attack, scattering them to the 4 winds. Meliodas. Well, if you believe the rumors, they each died a long time ago. Elizabeth. Such amazing people wouldn't possibly let themselves get killed. Rimuru. You sure have a lot of faith in people with such an infamous reputation. Meliodas. Yeah, and they are criminals, aren't they? Elizabeth. The Holy Knights are the ones causing the suffering of the people right now. Long ago, when I was small, only 5 or 6 years old, my father would tell me stories about them, and that's when I learned they were the most powerful knights that. Suddenly, the edge they were all standing on was cut off. Hawk. Give me a break. Rimuru. You've gotta be kidding me. Rimuru said. Quite exasperated, he caught Hawk and grabbed the knight Alione to bring him up with them while Meliodas carried Elizabeth. Twigo. You there. Twigo. How dare you survive without my say-so? I shall not be revising my death tally conclusion. Hawk. WHO asked you to anyway. Rimuru. Geez, what a piece of work. If all holy knights are like him these days, then no wonder she's desperate enough to look for them. Meliodas. Hey, are you awake? Elizabeth. Yes. Meliodas. When I signal to you, run into the forest, got it? Elizabeth. Alright, got it. Twigo. Fate is smiling on me today. The crest on that earring you're wearing is for the royal family, which means that you, conclusion, are Princess Elizabeth. Meliodas. Hold on, you're a princess. Hawk. Wait, are you really Princess Elizabeth? You're the third princess in the royal family. Twigo. A decree has been issued from the royal capital to determine your whereabouts. The order was to capture you alive and in healthy condition, but if you lost your life in an unfortunate accident. Rimuru. I think that's our cue. Meliodas. Go now. They all began running. Elizabeth. I must not let myself get captured, I can't afford to give up yet. Twigo. Conclusion. Accidental death. Twigo swung his sword at them, and all the trees of the forest were sent flying off their stumps. Elizabeth opened her eyes to see Meliodas on top of her, shielding her. Meliodas. Hi there, you guys alright? You seem okay. Rimuru was on the ground. Rimuru. We're good. Hawk. Seriously. I'm shaved pork on a skewer. Hawk began crying and ran away while calling for his mother. Twigo. Pig. Rimuru. Deserter. Twigo. No matter. Elizabeth got up and walked toward Twigo. Meliodas. Elizabeth. What are you doing? Rimuru. You know the idea is to run away from magic-wielding maniacs, right? Elizabeth. There's no escape. Meliodas. Wait, hang on. You just said you couldn't afford to be caught or give up. Elizabeth. Maybe if I surrender myself peacefully, he'll agree to take me back, and your lives can both be spared. Twigo slashed at them. Rimuru and Meliodas pushed Elizabeth out of the way of the ruthless attack. Elizabeth. Please try to get away while you still can. Rimuru. A lovely sentiment, but I don't think it'll make a difference. Meliodas. Yeah, I don't think he wants any of us to get out of this alive. Elizabeth began crying. Elizabeth. I was so happy to meet you both. I set out searching for the 8 deadly sins all alone. It was hard traveling by myself, and I felt so scared walking around in that rusty armor, hoping nobody would recognize me, but there wasn't anyone I could turn to for help, and now you both have shown such kindness to someone you've never met before. I don't want to see you two hurt, that's why I don't want to involve you in my problems anymore, not when I don't even know your names. Meliodas. Meliodas, if you really wanna know. Rimuru. Guess the cat's out of the bag, huh, Captain? Well, my name's Rimuru, regardless. Elizabeth thought back to the wanted posters and 2 names that stood out to her. Elizabeth looked in disbelief. The wanted posters of those they claimed to be were much older than the 2 in front of her. Elizabeth. I don't believe it, it can't be, but you two are just. Rimuru smirked and lifted up his bangs, revealing a small wolf tattoo on his forehead. Elizabeth also noticed the tattoo on Meliodas' shoulder. Elizabeth. Those symbols. Twigo swung his sword at them once again, only to find the slash had vanished along with a chunk of his armor. Twigo. How is this possible? My technique was flawless, I'm certain my blade swung in your direction, yet I felt no impact, only my flesh and armor under the feeling of being eaten by acid. How? Rimuru had his hand raised to him, but lowered it. Rimuru. Has it been so long that the kingdom of Leones has forgotten my void magic? Elizabeth. Meliodas and Rimuru, the captain and vice-captain of the 8 deadly sins, the most powerful and feared of the sins, is that truly who you both are? Meliodas smiled as he took the broken blade off his back. Meliodas. Alright, time's up, figured it out yet? Twigo. No, it can't be, and yet you still dare to exist. Twigo swung his sword at them once again. Rimuru casually moved out of the way as Meliodas used the full counter technique. Twigo. Conclusion, this incomprehensible, extraordinary power is that of a legend. Twigo was sent flying, his armor was disassembled by the attack. Meliodas. The 8 deadly sins, the sin of wrath, the dragon sin, Meliodas. Rimuru. The 8 deadly sins, sin of deception, the wolf sin, Rimuru. Meliodas sheathed his broken sword. Meliodas. Well, Elizabeth, guess this means you found your first 2 sins. Rimuru. 2 for 1, aren't you lucky? Meliodas. So listen, as far as the 6 others go, I've got some business to discuss, so I've started looking for them myself. I've been using the tavern as a way to gather information. Rimuru. Not that he's been successful, I was the one to find him a couple of months ago. Meliodas. I was only surprised it took you this long, and you didn't find anyone else. Rimuru. You always expect me to do everything. Meliodas. Well, not you specifically. Rimuru. Don't you dare go there. Meliodas. Anyway, if we had another pretty girl to pull in a larger crowd, I'll bet you we'd see a lot more info heading our way. How about it, coming with us? Rimuru punched Meliodas in the head. Rimuru. What did I tell you about calling me a girl? Do that one more time, and I'll seriously kill you myself before the knights get the chance. Meliodas. Geez, you're still sensitive about that. Elizabeth. Yes, I'd be happy to travel with you both. Soon, Hawk's mom landed, and a ladder came falling off her. Hawk. Perfect timing, isn't it, guys? Rimuru and Meliodas got on the ladder. Meliodas. Hey Hawk's mom, way to go. Hawk. Hey, I'm the one WHO brought her. Rimuru. What a lovely messenger hog. Rimuru said sarcastically. Meliodas. Alright then, let's head out to the next town. Guys, come on, Hawk's mom, up to you now. Elizabeth screamed as Meliodas carried her with one hand by her hip, facing the ground like luggage.